It's about how you package a Western beauty ideal, which is often blonde-haired, blue eyes, white-skinned, how you sell this Western beauty ideal to people, but not just to people in the West, but to people all over the world, in Africa and China and Brazil. And so my work looked at how, as humans, we have been exploited and manipulated by the industry who have sold us this idea, this very kind of prescriptive, narrow ideal. And the idea is if you can actually sell people that ideal, you can make them spend a lot of money trying to conform to it. So women and men actually in China have eye surgery to make their eyes appear more Western. People in India and Africa use skin lightening creams. Women in Brazil straighten their hair and lighten their skin. And if you look at any mainstream women's magazine in Brazil, they only feature white women with blonde hair. And Brazil is a kind of cultural melting pot. There would be no reason for that other than this idealization. And it's quite insidious and dark because obviously it messes people up in the process. And that's the other problem. If you can make people insecure and unhappy with themselves, they will strive to change themselves. Aging is being resold to us as a disease that we must try and cure ourselves from, or at least disguise. And so it's a thing of kind of shame in a way to be old. And that goes hand in hand with a culture that is more kind of youth obsessed. And so now you have people that would have once perhaps been respected and their wisdom and experience would be acknowledged. Now you have a middle-aged man who feels that he could be pushed aside, swept aside by this culture. And so he then has to spend money on having plastic surgery. I covered sort of everything from a girl waiting to have a bikini wax, which is like an everyday thing now, to a far extreme of a young man in China having leg lengthening, where they saw through the bones in your leg and then over the course of 3 months stretch it apart until after 3 months you've grown about 10 centimeters of new bone and you are 10 centimeters taller. You may never run again, or there can be awful complications from it. There's even prosthetics for noses which make a Chinese nose bigger, not smaller, to appear more Western. Obviously in America and England, people have nose jobs to reduce the size of their nose. I sort of saw everything and anything. I mean, I went to Iran, in Tehran, the capital of Iran, and I did a project about nose jobs there, which is like a booming industry. I went to Senegal in Africa, where skin lightening cream is widely used, and very severe side effects as a result of that. I went to beauty pageants, a prison in Brazil where women, even when they're imprisoned, still compete in beauty contests inside the prison. And so I'm really interested in our kind of culture and how far we're willing to go, and how the industry affects us.